I like to give things a name. When I recognize some pattern or behavior that recurs, something I do, it could be good or bad, or it could be something that others do, but it's something I want to remember, I give it a name. And this one is called Fixin To Get Ready. I call it Fixin To Get Ready because Maggie, my grandmother, used to say stuff like that. And she'd say, I'm fixing to go to the grocery store. Now, she was just sitting there. She wasn't making a list, or she wasn't getting her keys and her wallet. She was literally just sitting there, fixing to go to the grocery store, which I guess meant she was thinking about it. Fixing to get ready has to do with achieving goals. Let's say you have a goal that you want to get a new job or start a business or get in good physical shape. There's some thing that would make your life better. You've identified it and you want to achieve it. That's good. In order to make that happen, though, you have to do something different than what you've been doing to produce this new outcome. And that's taking action. If you want a new job, you're going to have to take action, which means going out on interviews and meeting potential employers. But before you can do that, you actually have to prepare. You've got to get a resume, maybe post some on some job sites. There's work that you have to do before you can take the action to get the result. Now, that work won't get you a new job. That resume, that's just preparation for the real action that gets the result. But before you actually can get ready, you've got to prepare to prepare. And that's fixing to get ready. So if you want to write a killer resume, I mean, I haven't written a resume in 30 years. I've been self-employed. But so if I wanted a job, I think I'd want to learn about writing a killer resume, what's expected. I know the obvious stuff. So I'd start searching the internet and I'd learn about it, and I'd find videos, and I'd see what people who give advice in this area, have to say. Now, that's good. But the guys at Google are pretty clever, because when you're searching that video for how to write a killer resume, you're going to see something pop up about how, the top 5 interview questions you should be prepared to answer. That sounds like a good idea. I should probably watch that video or read that article. And before long, all the things you probably haven't thought of have been presented to you, and you're now down a rabbit hole trying to learn everything that you need to know in order to get ready so that you can take action so you can achieve your goal. Now, at some point, you got to take action. If you don't take action, nothing happens. Even the work you do, writing a resume, that doesn't produce the result. You got to get to action. But there's this whole category of stuff that seems workish. It makes sense. To other people, it looks like you're working. We let ourselves think we're really working, but we're actually getting further and further away from our goal by spending more and more time not actually doing the preparation or taking the action to achieve the goal. And that's why fixing to get ready can be destructive, in that it feels like work. So if you're procrastinating when you go to the beach, right? That's not work or work-like in any way. It is doing something else. You're watching TV, you're binge watching something on Netflix, you're not doing work. But fixing to get ready has a very work-like feel to it, which is part of the problem. It's very easy to get lost in fixing to get ready. Watching videos is remarkably easy, and it's entertaining. So if you've got a good speaker on YouTube talking about how to write a killer resume, it's kind of entertaining. You're learning some stuff. You're making steps towards your goal. It draws you in, and I think most dangerously, that's the stuff that is safe. Watching videos on how to write a resume so that you can go on an interviews, actually, those are a little scary. Doing the real work, the action, That doesn't feel as safe. You're going to meet a stranger who is getting paid to judge you. Yeah, that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. I get that, especially if you haven't done it for a long time. So you want this job, but you're kind of putting yourself out there. That's that doesn't feel safe. Watching videos on how to write a resume is very safe. I have been fixing to get ready to start this channel for a long time. And to have a YouTube channel, I got to have a camera, right? So I'm going to get a phone. So now I'm researching cameras, phones with good quality cameras that you can start a YouTube channel with. And you can spend a lot of time doing that, right? But the problem with using your phone as your camera is that the screen that shows where you are, it's on the other side. So now I've got to research tablets. At some point, you've just got to ship. That's a Seth Godin thing. He talks about just ship. It doesn't have to be a great resume. In fact, you're better off writing a bad resume and then fixing it, which is actually not that hard. The hard part is writing the bad resume. And the hard part is getting all the jobs identified, all the dates when you started and left, the things that you did, the education, all of that formatted in some reasonable way on a page. That's the bulk of the work. Fixing it because it doesn't paint you quite as clearly, or it's got typos or some bad grammar, that isn't that hard. That's the perfecting part of it. Write a bad resume, just get it down on paper. So how do you fix this? One, just be mindful of it, being aware that there's a kind of work out there that while it's good, it has the potential to be distracting. It's a kind of procrastination that isn't obvious that it's procrastinating. Going to the beach is easy to detect as trying to escape from your responsibilities. But doing the research and the learning that it takes to get ready, that isn't as obvious. So being aware that exists is the first step. The second is being honest with yourself that it may or may not be helping you that much, that while good, it's not going to produce the results that you're really after. Third would be recognizing that you'll never be ready. You'll never be as ready as you could possibly be. There's too much knowledge out there that could make you more ready. So if you were to try and possess it all, you'd never get anything done. You have to recognize that this is just an imperfect game. You'll never have everything aligned just so. So go screw it up if that's what it takes. You're better off writing a bad resume and going on some bad interviews than watching a bunch of videos and not taking action. Because when you write a bad resume and you figure that out, it's easy enough to fix it, or maybe someone will just give you some feedback. That's what failing your way to success is just putting yourself out there, being willing to take chances and to learn from those experiences. But at some point, you've just got to stop preparing and go do.